Good evening, I'm Hugh Riminton. This is 10 Eyewitness News. Tonight, senior ministers close ranks around the immigration minister after he admits giving wrong information on the Manus Island riots. 5 women detail sex abuse claims against the former TV star Robert Hughes. And Sam Worthington out on bail after a New York moment with Lara Bingle and a pesky photographer. The government has responded to calls for an inquiry into the latest Manus Island riot by saying its terms will include Labor's actions in setting up the detention centre in the first place. Senior ministers are closing ranks around the Immigration Minister Scott Morrison, who has admitted releasing wrong information about the death of a detainee. Catalina Flores has the latest.
Shoulder to shoulder with Indonesia's brightest academics, the Foreign Minister keen to stress Australia's most important friendship.
We have a strong relationship with Indonesia and it must continue to grow.
But not willing to elaborate on reported plans to send asylum seekers to poverty-stricken Cambodia, instead defending a colleague under intense pressure.
I think he's doing an extraordinary job in very difficult circumstances.
The difficulty surrounds the events on Manus Island last week, where Iranian asylum seeker Reza Barati died of head injuries. There was compassion on the nation's streets and today in Parliament, but most interest centred on this statement from last Tuesday.
Particularly in the case of the deceased person, their injuries occurred and the shot being fired was outside of the centre.
The minister has since admitted he got it wrong. The 23-year-old was killed inside the centre. In question time, he was ready for attack.
Now you get up, don't you? I've got you to your feet now.
But despite one Labor backbencher's earlier comments,
he definitely does have blood on his hands.
The opposition was cautious with its response, only asking 4 questions on the issue.
Precisely at what time and on which day?
The minister unwavering on the government's policy.
And our resolve is absolute.
Still to come, Victoria Murphy has tonight's sports news, also coming up after the break. An arrest warrant is issued for Ukraine's ousted president, wanted now for mass murder. And the secret Australian weapon behind the American baseball spectacle heading our way. Welcome back to 10 Eyewitness News. Ukraine's ousted president, Viktor Yanukovych, is now a wanted man with a warrant issued for his arrest over the killing of civilians. The current location of the former president is a mystery. Ukrainians now believe this is how Yanukovych fled, by helicopter at night from his lavish estate. Coming up next, more sport with Victoria Murphy, including Darren Lehman's thoughts on the Aussies' capitulation in Port Elizabeth. Plus, Dale Thomas off to a rough start at the Blues. We'll bring you all the highlights from tonight's NAB challenge against the Crows. And happy days. Aussie Jason Day celebrates his biggest ever career win. We'll have all the details. Welcome back. Time for some sport now with Victoria Murphy. And Tori, no dream debut for Dale Thomas.
No, it wasn't. It was a little strange seeing him play in something other than a Collingwood Guernsey, though. Tonight, Thomas pulled on the Blues jumper for the first time in the NAB challenge against the Adelaide Crows. Despite some heroics from their new recruit, the Blues let the match slip in the last quarter. Trent Dan has all the highlights. And Aussie Jason Day is celebrating the biggest win of his career after taking out the World Golf Championship match play in Arizona. It was a marathon final against Frenchman Victoire Dubisson, who scrambled several times. Eventually, Jason won on the 23rd hole.
We have a champion. I wanted the win so bad. I never wanted something so bad in my life, and definitely very pleased with it.
Yeah, good on him. His gorgeous son was on hand to help him celebrate. Hugh, $1.5 million, the cheque for that win.
That'll cover the school fees.
Not bad.
Thank you, Tori. Coming up after the break, we're going to check all tomorrow's weather forecast. Stay with us. Welcome back. A quick look at the weather. A morning shower or two for Brisbane. Perfect sunny conditions for Sydney and Canberra. A shower or two developing in Melbourne. A late shower in Hobart. Mostly sunny in Adelaide, sunny in Perth. And the usual tropical afternoon shower or storm for Darwin, 32 degrees. And that was the day and the late news. Thank you for joining us. Good night.